can just settle this and with this we can go on. So there are different aspects of total knowledge what you want to think about. Now let me come to this the topic of my lecture. I think I shall talk for some time and we shall break when and then after the break you may have your lunch or something and you can again eat. So let me I really wish to start with complex numbers. Really with complex numbers. And the two things I wish to emphasize. So these are general. A calculus of oriented angles. So this is just a phrase, you try to understand it. We all have to understand this flow of life, what is this is relevant in our way to understand this. And complex analysis this is infinitesimal similarity geometry. So these are the two phrases I would like to emphasize, and you have some feeling for what this means. Now this is complex as the numbers. Whereas the angle, what is an angle? Angle is not a number. Actually, angle originally, etymologically, angle just means a corner. Kona, same word, corner. Or in Greek it is konon, which is close to corner. And angle is the Latin word, but that also originally it means corner. You see, in our Marathi, something like this is called a konada. I think Hindi में कहते हैं कोने में रखो. That cone is, that is the angle. So this is just a space between two rays. Space between two rays. This is the angle, and so this is a spatial concept. But when we consider now when we learn, try studying more, we forget its original meanings. And we consider this is a number. Length of the arc that we confuse with the angle itself. So this is, that's a length is always positive. So we consider this something like this is some measurement on the set of angles. So measurement comes to take an arbitrary set, and measurement is some function on the arbitrary set with values in the real numbers. So that is a measurement. And measurement is about 3/4 of the time it is a positive number or a non-zero number. And so it is in this non-zero real number sense we understand the angles in Euclidean geometry. When we studied Euclidean geometry in school, that is always we meant these, we did not worry about the sign of the angle. They were always non-negative angles. And they were between 0 and 2 pi or minus pi to pi and so on. But now oriented angles. Now here that angle comes with a sign. So sign is the number concept, but orientation is a spatial concept. So here we take also to orient the rays. Rays lying in a plane intersecting at a point, and in the plane we fix one orientation. Now to mathematically what is that orientation is you just try to understand intuitively at the moment. It can be made precise, but that's a part of algebraic topology. That's a different ballgame. Arc Z was theta. So here I am assuming that we understand now what is oriented angles. But people like Hardy, one approach to trigonometry is through infinite series. So you just define cosine theta is 1 minus theta square by 2 factorial plus theta to the 4 by 4 factorial, so on. Theta minus theta 2 whole 3 factorial and so on. We take these as definitions. These are not consequences of something that you know, angular, triangle, and so on. So these are the definitions. Then you put e to the I theta is cosine theta plus paradoxes in the Euclidean geometry came about. So all those paradoxes were removed by complex numbers, and these formulas amount to this group to start with. So just to amuse you, let's hear of some of them. Sum of the angles of a triangle is pi. This is the Euclidean statement. And when you consider those angles, you name the angle, not the oriented angles. But now you interpret also as an oriented angle. Then the statement is still true. Oriented angle, so you take this 3 points, fully oriented triangle. This concept is missing in Euclid. So, okay, so you orient it, so you consider this bounded part first of all, and you consider this is the boundary of the bounded part, and you leave this bounded part to the left as you start walking around. So this is the given orientation of the complex plane. This is to start with, and here we orient the boundary with respect to that, so that when you start walking in that direction, Euclid's theorem, that the sum of the oriented angles of a triangle is pi. Is exactly pi. Now, just for amusement, I wanted to. I really want to do this thing. You know this theorem in the plane geometry that you study. You take a circle. Then you take 2 points on this. And then this is, when you take any point in the arc, form this angle. So this is the variable point. You have forgotten Euclidean geometry now. So you know complex numbers, but you don't know Euclidean geometry. It is the same angle that you get no matter where you take this P on the R. Like this, it is the same angle. Oriented angle. So this angle is always half of this angle. And so it is in particular independent of this. Now, how will you prove using complex numbers? So there is a similarity geometry, so you can consider this as a unit circle. You can take this origin as the point 0, is the number 0. Then this is some e to the I theta 1. This is e to the I theta 2. And this is e to the I alpha. Yeah, now take this particular picture and there are some choices involved here. So, what is the relationship between theta 1 and theta 2? They both lie between 0 and 2 pi. You know, here we have to do one trick. Plus, so this is argument of e to the I square p x by 2 plus argument of short introduction to complex numbers. Now, what you call them, holomorphic or analytic? You know holomorphic functions. What's the holomorphic function? Speak anyone. Yes? Differentiable in what sense? In the complex sense. You take that Newton's quotient and in the denominator you allow complex numbers, not real numbers. So actually as a concept things are different. But anyway, so that is differentiable. That is one definition. Another definition?
Power series expansion. Power series expansion can be expanded.
Power can be expanded as a power series locally at that point. Third definition, Cauchy-Riemann equations. So I prefer the word holomorphic to analytic because analytic is used in many other ways. So holomorphic has only one connotation, but analytic has other connotations. So I should use the word holomorphic. So shall we stop now? Whatever you wish. So I would like you to, so you know holomorphic functions. Then have you heard about the?
Take a break.
Yeah. So let me just describe. So analytic continuation of a holomorphic function. Here the word analytic is used. Analytic continuation. That's not some holomorphic continuation. So we shall recall this and just here. First theorem and then examples. I would like to start with one simple example, and in that example, the output could be also in points in the domain, go to two different points in the range. So let me ask you if it is 1 to 1. Is F 1 to 1? Then inverse function is whether I can express z in terms of w. It doesn't say exactly the domain, etc. But so this is w minus wz equals 1, or w minus 1 over w, different calculation. So what should be the range? But now let's consider if you start with the negative series, the unit disk, open unit disk. And what I find is that G is actually equal to F restricted to the unit disk. Open unit disk. These are two different expressions, this and this. I want to make them a function. So, by some process I make this a function from c minus 1 to c minus 0. But if it exists, it is unique. So, this is an example of analytic continuation and so on. So, you have some other, and this is a differentiable function, so it is a holomorphic function, and I express it around 0. So if I want to express around some other point, I will get an expression in terms of z minus that point. And in general, this is an inductive process. You don't know whether a thing exists. It is sometimes denoted by c hat, and it again takes value infinity. So it is value is the value then is c hat. But now if it is 1 to 1 on c hat and a 1 to 1 and surjective. So if it is both bijective on c hat, so this f hat is bijective. This type of, you can take this and in fact the same expression will work. So if I take z equals this thing, so it is defined on now it is defined at w. So here it was only w was defined only on this part, but at 0 now I define that to be infinity. We had spreads. So to my original set, I just added